Hello, everyone. Welcome to Engage 2020. We are so excited to have you here with us. My name is Jim Sherhart, and I'm going to take you through a quick update of the admin roadmap as we kick off the IT Heroes track. Quick reminder, we have the Smartsheet team standing by to help answer any questions you have. Just put them in the chat window anytime throughout the session. We'll also be wrapping up today with a live Q&A, so be sure to get those questions in. But first, my friends over at Legal have asked me to share a few words with you to let you know this session may contain forward-looking statements and that trademarks in the presentation are not endorsements. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I just want to give you a quick overview of my background and my role at Smartsheet. I joined Smartsheet as VP of Product Marketing back in July, and have to admit it's been an amazing first few months. Not sure if any of you have joined your current company during the pandemic, but it's an interesting way to onboard, to say the least. Just like we're having to meet virtually here today, I've had to meet my team and coworkers virtually as well. So before joining Smartsheet, I was at Amazon Web Services, where I ran product marketing and strategic communications teams. I actually got exposed to Smartsheet during my time there when there were several teams within marketing that were using Smartsheet to manage teams and projects. When I saw how much it enabled these teams to get more done faster, I became an instant fan. So my role here at Smartsheet is pretty simple. I run an awesome team of product marketers who work really closely with the product teams to make sure we're delivering products and features that you, our customers, are really going to love. So if you caught the keynote earlier today, you heard Mark, Anna, and Jean talk about dynamic work and how Smartsheet is a platform for enabling everyone within an organization to do dynamic work. This is true for knowledge workers, and it's especially true for IT. Just like other departments, your business objectives, your resources, and your priorities are constantly changing. And I would imagine that's even more so the case right now as you continue to shift your supporting an increasingly larger remote workforce, making sure they have the tools they need to continue to be productive and successful no matter where they're working from. And that's why Smartsheet is investing heavily to make sure our platform provides the scale, performance, and manageability that both you and your users require. If you look at the traditional enterprise stack, it's usually comprised of two layers. On the top layer, you have your systems of record for sales, marketing, finance, HR, and of course, IT and engineering. And on that bottom layer, you have end user tools for productivity, chat, visualization, and virtual meetings. They're helpful as purpose-built solutions, but they don't easily enable workflow without a massive amount of human intervention. These apps tend to create silos of information and a lack of visibility into what's happening because things are locked up in an email or spreadsheet or chat conversation. We believe there's a need for another layer in the stack, and we call that the dynamic layer. The dynamic layer is where you can bring together the work that happens at the edge with all of your knowledge workers with the information that lives in your systems of record. This is where Smartsheet plays a really important role because we enable workers at the edge and IT to configure solutions to quickly support the dynamic needs of the business with a level of agility that lets you improve and iterate on your business processes and work as things evolve. And when you look at dynamic work solutions, there's 6 factors that are critical to success. The first is always security. You need to empower your teams, but you also have to make sure you can govern with visibility and security. The second, scalability. You need to be able to reliably scale from small team-based deployments to larger deployments as more teams get activated. Third is unification, bringing together people, information and data, conversations and content to align people to provide a common source of truth. Fourth is user-driven, empowering everyone with an intuitive no-code platform to automate steps and design solutions for their dynamic work needs. I would argue this is one of the most important things you'll do as an IT professional for your organization, because doing this not only empowers your company's most important asset, their people, but it also frees you up from your day-to-day requests so you can focus on more strategic initiatives. Fifth is adaptability. You need a solution that is flexible enough to adapt to any type of work and continuously evolve to meet the ever-changing needs. And sixth critical factor is collaboration. You have to bring together the right people at the right time wherever they are, and everyone can work together transparently in the context of work. This requirement to work across the stack is why we invest so much time and effort integrating Smartsheet with the systems you use today. We see Smartsheet as a layer that helps bring together information to enable work to be done more effectively. On the top layer, we have connectors for Salesforce and Dynamics 365 for your sales organization, Marketo and Adobe for your marketing teams, SAP and Oracle for finance. We've got Workday for HR. And of course, we have integrations with platforms like ServiceNow and Jira for IT and engineering. The bottom layer, we connect with Office 365 and G Suite for productivity, Box and Dropbox for content, Teams and Slack for chat, and Tableau and Power BI for visualization. And for any systems you need to connect where we don't already have a ready-to-use solution, we have Bridge, which is our no-code automation engine for enabling workflows across platforms. And when you look at some of the biggest pain points for IT, the average organization has well over 100 tools just to manage their day-to-day operations. This is why we've invested heavily to allow Smartsheet to connect to these platforms together, while at the same time making it easy for IT to have the controls they need right from the admin console. The vast majority of big data IT projects fail. So having consistent and automated processes with specific guardrails in place to make sure that the right people are seeing the right information at the right time has never been more important. And with over 2/3 of organizations having experienced a loss of customers due to cyber attacks, security, governance, and compliance is top of mind for all InfoSec and IT admins. Having a set of security tools and policies in place to make sure your organization's data is safe has never been more critical. So we talked about the importance of making your team more dynamic and having a platform that delivers on the core pillars of dynamic work that integrates the entire stack. When you look at Smartsheet, we deliver on this through a set of core and a set of enhanced capabilities. Core capabilities include things like user and group management, account branding, authorization, and account security settings. And when we talk about enhanced capabilities, we're talking about products and features like Forms, Bridge, event reporting, Azure AD integration, and the Just Announced work apps. And we're committed to improving these capabilities over time. Let's dive a little bit deeper into some of these now. I want to start with Forms because for a lot of Smartsheet users, Forms tend to be their first and sometimes only experience with the platform. That's why we continue to invest in Forms to make them easier to build, more intuitive for users, and more dynamic. We've refreshed Form Builder to make it simpler and faster to build forms with a new, more intuitive user interface. And we've also added conditional logic, which makes it easy for builders to dynamically update questions based on previous responses, eliminating the need, in a lot of cases, for multiple forms. As I mentioned before, we believe we're part of a broader ecosystem of tools to configure work, and that's why we continue to put a lot of focus in integrating Smartsheet with the rest of your stack. But we have a lot of customers with specific applications that need to integrate with Smartsheet as well. If you attended the keynote earlier today, you heard Mark and Jean talk about Bridge, our no-code automation engine for enabling workflow between platforms. With Bridge, you can easily and efficiently build multi-step business processes using workflows to trigger actions and share data across platforms, all from a user-friendly interface. Doing this can eliminate manual business processes and quickly and efficiently provide insights to the health of your business so you can deliver quality work faster. Let's take a look at Bridge in action.
Bruce is an operations coordinator at an international roofing installation company. Because roofing installations are so dependent on the daily weather, Bruce needs to make sure that their field employees are safe when going on site for an installation. In order to ensure the safety of their employees, Bruce uses Smartsheet to track each of their job sites and uses Bridge by Smartsheet to help pull in the relevant weather data. If the weather is too hot, the employees are only allowed to work during non-peak hours. And if the weather conditions have thunder or lightning in the forecast, then their work is going to be rescheduled. Let's go ahead and take a look at the process. Every day, Bruce takes a look at a sheet where he tracks all of the installation locations. In this sheet, you'll see city information and also some pre-filled in data from past installations with its respective weather. Now, you may be wondering how the weather data flowed into the sheet. At many companies, you may have the operations coordinator actually look up the daily weather forecast at each installation location in order to fill in the sheet. But Bruce uses Bridge. Bridge is a no-code, cross-platform process automation engine. It helps Bruce pull in the relevant weather data for his installation cities. If we jump to Bridge, you'll see that it's a drag and drop interface that helps represent the action that it takes on the data. It starts with the trigger of when new rows are added to the sheet. That information then passes location data over to Google Geocode, which turns that information into a latitude and longitude. That latitude and longitude gets passed to an open weather service. With that open weather service, it pulls in the weather data points. whether it's wind speed, gusts, high and low temperatures, whatever you'd like to track. Let's see this in action. Back in our sheet, let's go ahead and enter a new city. And in our case, we'll enter Bellevue, Washington. Once we go ahead and save this sheet, you'll see that in a few seconds, the data gets populated within the rest of the row to pull in the weather for Bellevue, Washington. For each new installation city, go ahead and add a new location, or you can also set this on a daily schedule for any of your active installation projects. This is just one example of how you can use Bridge, whether it's with the weather service, whether it's with Google Geocode, but Bridge can connect to so many different systems, whether it's third-party systems, chat platforms, CRMs, ERPs, and many more.
We soft launched Bridge in July, but I'm excited to announce that Bridge is now generally available for Smartsheet customers. Back in May, we launched Smartsheet Admin Center to give IT a simple, centralized way to manage their Smartsheet account. It provides a snapshot of your account and an easy way to manage users and group licenses, account settings, including authentication, security, and branding, just to name a few. And best of all, this framework provides a great way for us to continue to add new capabilities. And we've been working on Admin Center to make it even easier to manage your Smartsheet account. In July, we added a new user merge capability to simplify bulk changes to email addresses. And using the Add Edit User panel, you can now add or remove a licensed role, such as the ability for a user to be an admin of Dynamic View. You can import users to bulk add users with new license roles. And you can also use bulk update to give new user license roles to several users at once. We've expanded the console so that you can now add cards to showcase first-party apps and add upsell messaging. And you can set an app-level org setting that allows admins to control activation of an app at either the user or org level. We also made a few exciting announcements for additional governance and admin at scale features that are coming later in Q4. First, we're starting to expand our governance capabilities with policy templates to make it really easy for sysadmins to set and enforce policy restrictions to match their corporate policy needs. This year, we'll be launching 2 policies: data retention, which will help admins automatically flag and delete aging and unused documents. The policy will also have affordance for admins to notify users and manage exceptions. And on the data egress control side, we're launching a data sharing and export policy that will allow sysadmins to control what internal and external users can use in terms of things like publish, export, save as new, and external sharing. From an administration at scale perspective, we've heard from several enterprise customers they need more flexibility in how they manage Smartsheet subscriptions. While these customers want to continue to enable their teams to operate independently and choose Smartsheet for their work management needs, IT and InfoSec want the ability to better govern the use of Smartsheet centrally. They want to control things like single sign-on settings from a central location. So we're announcing a new management capability to help these customers bring their multiple plans under a single governance structure. So a lot of exciting progress since we launched Admin Center back in May. At Smartsheet, we also offer accelerators, which are advanced, pre-configured solutions to help customers get up and running quickly. The ITPMO accelerator, which we refreshed in June, continues to be our most popular accelerator. It allows you to leverage proven best practices around security, demand management, capacity planning, project management, and portfolio management to help you get up and running faster, in a lot of cases, several months faster. For those of you that caught the keynote, one of the most exciting and innovative announcements was WorkApps. WorkApps gives your organization a no-code platform for building intuitive web and mobile apps. Using WorkApps, anyone can take loosely connected Smartsheet assets, such as sheets and forms and dashboards and reports, and combine those with external assets, such as Tableau dashboards, package all that together in one intuitive app. It allows you to define roles for different stakeholders and give those stakeholders a custom view so they only see what matters to them most. For example, you can create one role for team members so they can see their work, dashboards, and reports, and another role for executives so they can monitor performance and escalations. And the great thing about WorkApps is you simply create roles, add users to the app, and that's it. There's no need to give users access to individual sheets or reports. To make it really easy to get started, we've created the Work App Builder, where you can start from your own Smartsheet solution or from one of our pre-made templates. Let's take a quick look at Work Apps in action.
I'm going to show you an app that I built for my team. This particular app is something I created to manage my program in my organization. People request work for my team, and they get assigned to the technicians on the team. I've given myself privileges so that in this app, I can demonstrate the entire functionality really well. To start with, I've got a set of app roles, and each of these app roles has a set of defined app pages that I've defined as an app builder. For a program manager role, I can see the dashboard that describes all my team tasks and the status of these tasks. This app also contains a request intake form that my end users can use to submit their requests. All of this is tracked in this master intake sheet that shows all the list of all the tickets that my team is handling. And here's a report that is showing the status of all the tickets that have been submitted. I've submitted a few tickets just for the purpose of example for this demo so that I can show you how I can interact with this also as a submitter. And finally, as a technician, I can see all the tickets that are assigned to me and I can act on them. This app also contains other additional app roles, an employee role who is going to submit the tickets, and technician role who is going to be viewing the tickets and taking some action on the ticket itself. And finally, an exec role who is really getting a top level view of how our department is operating. For example, let's kind of interact with this app. So you would interact with this app the same way how you would interact with a Smartsheet. You can see the different pages, and then as a technician, I'm going to come in and say, okay, I've completed the task that I was working for with Tamika, so I can close that ticket. I can hit save, and the data gets saved into the same Smartsheet object that you're familiar with. It goes into the request intake sheet that then the rest of the organization can view it. The app is also branded with my company name and brand colors so that it's intuitive and easy, and it's purpose-built specifically for my organization.
You can sign up for Work Apps Preview today, and we'll be opening up access later this month. We're really excited to see how you're going to leverage Work Apps to take your Smartsheet use to the next level. So that was just a quick preview of some of the really exciting Smartsheet announcements for IT. I'm hoping you're able to attend some of the great sessions we have later today focused on security, compliance, managing users at scale, and building mission-critical apps and solutions. You can always learn more about the configuration options available to you in the Admin Center, and make sure to join the IT Professionals community group. Stay up to date and connect with your peers. Thanks so much, and have a great Engage.